Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Fonta, Flora Brewing Company out of Nebo, North Carolina. This beer is called Brackish. It is, see right there, it says Oyster Stout. So, it doesn't really say what the base stout is, but I have had this before, like right when I moved down here. If I remember correctly, it's pretty dry, so I would consider it a dry stout with oysters. It is 6.4 ABV. Like I said, I did have this before, but it was like shortly after I moved down here, so it's been at least a year. And this is the first time they packaged it, so I was interested to give it a go and do a review of it since I didn't get a chance to do that before. So crack it open and see what we got. And I chose to use this Nonic pint as the serving glass because this is what you would get it served in at the brewery. I think theirs aren't true Nonic pints. I don't think they're 20 ounces. I think they're 16, but still the same shape, so I figured it was appropriate. Got that logo so low there at Fonta Flora. So as you can see, it pours a really, really dark, like jet black color with a pretty nice, about one finger's worth of tan head. And I will say, when I originally heard of this, and I had heard of and probably had oyster stouts before, but the thought of it in general kind of is weird to me because I don't like seafood. But the other ones I've had have not really had like a seafoody taste at all, which is good. It's not. It kind of just gives off like a smoky character, which I think plays well with a dry stout. So, and this is pretty similar to what I was expecting and remembering. It does smell like it's going to be pretty dry. There's really, I mean, there might be like a little bit of like baker's chocolate in there, but not much. It doesn't smell like it's going to be very sweet. It definitely has a little bit of a like dark, pretty dark black coffee character and just general roasted malts, and it is a little smoky too. I'll tell you what, for people who are big fans of like really traditional robust porters and like dry stouts, you know, which is pretty much the opposite of what most people like today. These guys do some really, really good ones. This is a good example, and I think it's just called Irish Table. It's their dry Irish stout. And I can't remember if I did a review of that before. I don't know if they canned that this past March or not. I'm guessing not, only because they I'll have to look, but I'm guessing not, only because they started canning like right around that time, so I don't think they were pumping up nearly as many things as they are now. But I'm guessing they'll probably definitely do it this pretty soon, actually, because today's February. It's February 1st, so you know we're getting closer to March, so it makes sense. Very, very dry and roasty. But the thing that's so good about their stouts is they're usually very dry and roasty, but they're not ashy and acrid or overly bitter at all. And that's, you know, I think a lot of breweries, when they try to make something dry and really roasty, they also get that acrid, burnt character, which you don't want, which I think is generally from Black Patent is usually the worst culprit for that. So here, now that I'm looking at this really quickly, it just says the finest caramel, chocolate, and roasted malts. I'm assuming that just means roasted barley, and it's not like a generic term for darker malts, because chocolate malt is also roasted. So, but if I'm guessing there's no Black Patent in this because it is not acrid or ashy or bitter at all. It's a super dry but very, very clean. You know, it's also interesting because a lot of times when you get dry stouts, even though the flavor is very dry, what seems to go along with it is like a watery, over-carbonated mouthfeel. And that is not the case with this at all. It is definitely not watery. It's definitely not overcarbonated, but it's not undercarbonated either. It has this really nice creamy mouthfeel, which a lot of times you get with the sweeter stouts, but it goes perfectly with a drier one. Like, to be honest, this kind of reminds me of like a slightly more roasty, heftier Edmund Fitzgerald. And in my opinion, that's a big compliment because I think that's one of the best lower ABV, non-additive dark beers that you can get, and it's definitely one of the classics. But yeah, this is super easy to drink. It really does taste like just a beefed up version of that Irish Table, because I think that is maybe 4%. It might even be lower than that. So I mean, if it's sub 4, this really is almost like a double version of that, maybe with Oyster Stout. Or with oysters in it. So I'm really not picking up any like briny or seafoody character with it, but it does have a pretty like smoky character. But it's kind of it's more general smoky that you get from just an imperial stout than it's not like meaty like there's actually like smoked malts in it or anything like that. But yeah, you know. It's definitely a compliment to a brewery if I can do like a 7-minute review and keep talking about a beer when it's something as simple as what it is. So, if you like traditional style beers that are super clean and easy to drink and well done, this is absolutely a beer you should seek out, and that's definitely been my thing lately. So. My scale of buy, drink, dump, this is absolutely a buy. I don't remember what this cost, but I think it was like $12 for a 4-pack, so $3 a can for a really, really tasty, well done stout that has some heft. Has some heft to it, but not super strong either. Where you get drunk really quickly drinking it. So. Another beer that Fonta Flora absolutely knocks out of the park, and I have some other not things along this. Actually, yeah. So I was going to say I do have some other sours that I'm going to be rating from them recently, or that I got recently, but they are also doing a collaboration with Old Hickory. 3 different, looks like an Event Horizon base, but lower alcohol, non-barrel aged. One with coffee, one with coconut, and one with vanilla. So I'm really excited to do a review of that. I'm hoping it's the best of both worlds between those breweries, and it's going to be really good stuff. So yeah, I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.